It's another beautiful time in class this evening. How are you doing? Welcome to class leaders. I'm super excited. hmm Who is ready? Who is ready tonight? Let's see, let's see. Let's see those of you that are ready. Are you ready? Shoma, you're welcome to class. How you doing? How are you doing? I hope it is clear enough. You can see me. So we're going to continue from where we left off yesterday. Mm. We have, like I said earlier on, we're going to be having 4 sessions. Um, okay, you can hear me more than clear. We're going to be having 4 sessions tomorrow, 12 p.m., 2, 3, and 8 p.m. Yeah, tomorrow. So get ready for the 4 sessions. We're supposed to have a speaker right now, but we missed the time in terms of allocation to different speakers. So we're sorry about that, but not sorry because I'm going to be teaching now. I'm going to be teaching. So let's use this opportunity to round off on what we started yesterday on the power of focus. How many of you were in class yesterday? You were in class yesterday, just type class, 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 class. The power of focus. Okay, what it really takes to stop being scattered and start becoming unstoppable. Start becoming unstoppable. If you've been stuck, you've been moving in circles, this is the time to become unstoppable. Um, the essence of this very event is to see to it that at the end of the day, you are able to truly zone in, understand all the different things you need to begin to do. Like Coach Redempta spoke about the fact that you need to have clarity. An empowered woman is a woman that has options, right? You understand how to leverage options. But many a times we don't see those options because we do not have clarity. We don't see those options because we are not focused. When you become focused, it will become easy for you to be able to understand, all right? To be able to understand the options that are within your disposal. Someone is looking forward to starting off a platform, doing a community project, starting a business, and right there and then, you're already doubting yourself. You're already saying to yourself, am I sure I can really do this? Am I sure I can keep up with this? Because there is no clarity. When you understand, when you have clarity, options will become um, something that you have at your beck and call. Yesterday, we started off on the power of focus, and it was quite a fascinating conversation. Can you still remember anything from that class? A word, a lesson, a thought from the class of yesterday. And I said I was going to at um, look at for a time for us to complete the session, all right, which is quite important. What does it really take to stop being scattered and start becoming unstoppable? We all want to be unstoppable at our core. There is something that we know we've been called to do. There's a life we've been called to live. There's an experience we've been called to also steward as it has to do with transformation, right? So, so there's an experience we'll be also given access to champion so we can steward so much that God has placed within us. All right. So we looked at, let's just quickly run through. Here are some statistics that we looked into yesterday. 47%, we said 47%. Oh, sorry about that. Let me open my slide here. I can't see it directly. Yeah, Mama, I see you. How are you doing? You guys have been consistent. That's interesting. Well done. You see, by tomorrow now we're rounding up. We are rounding up. Okay, 47% of our waking hours, like we said yesterday, is spent thinking about something other than doing it. Is spent thinking. Do you see that? The 23 minutes is how long it takes to recover. It's how long it takes to recover. Do you see that? For us to recover from distractions, it takes 23 minutes. And then I said yesterday that if you're working 8 hours in a day and then you get distracted every now and then within each hours, you're going to be fragmented and your results will not be obvious in terms of what you're looking at for. And we also said we defined what focus is not. I said focus is not doing everything perfectly. It's not locking yourself away and avoiding all of life's demand. It is not a personality trait some women have and others do not. And I said it is not um working longer hours or grinding through your exhaustion. I said focus is a practice. I mean, if you can remember that focus is a practice and it is something that you can learn. It is something that you can learn. Okay? Focus is the art of choosing what matters most and protecting it. Focus is the art of choosing what matters and protecting it. Saying yes to what God placed in your heart. Saying yes to what God has placed in your heart. So now let's talk about the framework. Yes, so we're going to look into the framework on a deeper level. And I told us that we needed to zoom up. So in the next 15 minutes, we should be done with this class. I just want to bring us back to yesterday's conversation so that we can really conclude on this. I need you to have this at the back of your heart that after this event, your focus is going to become something extraordinary. That people will look at you, they will see the energy. Let me tell you, whether you're a marketer, whether you're a business person, whatever sphere of engagement you find yourself, your energy is what people commit to. Your energy is what people connect to. The energy that you bring to the marketplace. Now, that energy, if you want to begin to deconstruct them, it can be explained in different dimensions. It can be explained in different ways. But one thing that you should be sure of is the fact that energy is what people buy. If you are marketing a product, your level of aggressiveness, the kind of energy you bring to the marketplace will determine people will buy into that product or service, right? So that is it. And one way to steward such level of energy is focus. When you focus, you are gathering momentum, you are gathering energy, you're gathering all that you've got to ensure that you are able to truly zone and get the best result. Do you get it? If you look at people in your space, for example, even friends or colleagues or family or spouse, you discover that many a times there are certain things they want to do. You will see that, oh, there's no much energy in this thing. Once there's no much energy, the result is also going to be low. You see that? So we say focus about featuring, owning your hours, clearing the clutters, unplugging to recharge, and staying the course. So we're going to take them one after the other. What does it mean to filter? When we say filter, what does it mean? All right. When we say filter, what does it mean? It means get clear on what actually matters. Get clear on what matters. That's the first thing you have to know there. Get clear on what actually matters. Because not everything at the end of the day is urgent and important. All right. If you look at the Eisenhower framework, all right, of urgent versus important tasks, you discover that at the end of the day, it is not everything that is urgent that is important. There are times someone can send you a message. That message may be urgent, but may not be important at that time for you to listen to that message or for you to even read through. Do you see that? So you must understand how to get clear on what matters. Know your priorities. There's this book by Stephen Covey titled First Things First. First things first. First things first. The author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he also wrote the book first things first. If you read that book, you'll be able to zone in and really understand how to navigate priorities. So focus starts with priorities. It starts with filter, getting clear on what actually matters. Okay, so you're going to begin to ask yourself this question: what is the one thing I can do today that will make everything else easier or unnecessary? All right, I read the book by Gary Keller and Jay Papasan. They One Thing, such a profound book that shifted my perspective about focus. The One Thing by Gary Keller and Jay Papasan. Gary Keller and Jay Papasan. Such a profound book. You can go read it. The author says that what is the one thing you can do every day that will make everything else unnecessary? That on a daily basis, if I'm able to do this just one thing, I'm okay. On a weekly basis, if I'm able to do this just one thing, I'm okay. All right. Every other thing may not even be important, may not even be necessary. So your focus is not meant to be split equally among everyone. It's meant to be invested strategically in what God has assigned in your hands. The Bible says in Proverbs chapter 19, verse 21, it says, many are the plans in a man's heart. It says, nevertheless, it is the counsel of God that will stand. Many are the plans. Type it in the comments. Many are the plans. Let me know those that are still in the room. You are still here, type I'm here. Many are the plans in a man's heart. But nevertheless, the Bible says it is the word of God that will stand. So you can have as many plans as possible. You can have as many priorities as possible. We're saying zone into one and see how your life will turn around quickly. The O stands for own your ass. You see that? We all have the same 24 hours. Every woman in this room. Okay, Shama is still here. Great. Every woman in this room has 24 hours. But I want to know that 80% of the results that you are getting right now is coming from 20% of your activities. If you don't know about the Pareto principle, let it stick in right now. 80%, in fact, research has proven that 80% of the um, wealth of the richest and most um, the most billionaires we have in the world, or even trillionaires, are made up of 20% of the population. Now you can see that you can begin to deliberately understand how to navigate that priority for you on a daily basis. Everything else will just begin to make a lot of sense. That prioritization, up until, in fact, it was until the 90s that priority became priorities. It used to just be priorities. So there was nothing like priorities having so many things at the same time. It was just priorities. See, language is the doorway to the soul. The moment it shifted from priorities to priorities, you see, we started getting distracted. We started thinking of a lot of things that we wanted to do. Okay? So how do you do that? You can time block your top three priorities before checking your phone. You can tell yourself every single day when I wake up from sleep, these are my top three priorities. Okay? Even your first 90 minutes of the day, you learn to protect it. You can batch similar tasks so your brain isn't constantly switching gears. Batch similar tasks so your brain isn't constantly shifting gears. Also learn how to schedule rest. Okay? If you don't schedule rest, rest will schedule itself because the body of a man requires rest. Okay? It is called Sabbath for a reason. Rest. Okay? So 80% of our results should come from 20% of our activities. But a lot of us are doing it the other way around. 80%, 20% of your results are coming from 80% of activities. You see, you are going to be exhausted. Like you do 80% of activities and you only get 20% of results. 20% of results. You do 80% of activities and you get 20% of results. In other words, it's supposed to be 20% of activities yielding 80% of results. That is if you are doing the things that matters. If you are doing the things that truly resonate, the things that truly connect. All right? The C now, focus. The C now stands for clear the clutter. Clutter is not just physical. It lives in our mind, it lives in our inbox, it lives in our phone, it lives in even unprocessed emotions, unfocused, unfinished conversation. I think it was yesterday, Jesigbogo, yeah, yesterday, Jesigbogo. Was it yesterday we had Jesigbogo? No, but that was on Tuesday, right? Tuesday. Jesse Bogo said something very interesting, that she told herself that she was going to be she was going to maintain purity as a young girl, and that helped her. That a lot of people today are distracted because of how they have been entangled. You see, so when the Bible says free from all every form of sin, God is not even saying this. But I've learned this many years ago, that when God said be free from sin, stop living a double standard life. He's not saying it because um he just wants you to feel good, or he wants you to please him. No, not majorly that. It is majorly for your own sake, so that you can fulfill purpose, so that you can fulfill your assignment. A lot of people are struggling today, not able to keep up with the assignment because they have been entangled. They have entangled themselves in a way that they have so many baggages. Right now, they have so much unprocessed emotions, and that is really pulling a weight on them. If you understand what I'm saying, type I understand, Coach Faith. It is pulling so much weight on them. Unprocessed emotion. It's also a clutter. You may be thinking distraction is really about phone, notifications. Some people, their distraction is unprocessed emotions. Wound that they haven't healed from. Childhood trauma. Different kind of stuff that they are suffering from. So the average person checks their phone 96 times a day. That's according to Asunion research. So you have to be able to clear one thing today. One app, one pile, or one grudge, whatever. You see that emotional unprocessed emotions, usually you can deal with that by just prayers, by reading more, by having conversations, by even participating in programs like this. Sometimes the things that you have been struggling with, someone can just touch base on them, right? You can see what Coach Jay shared with us today. Such a thorough and powerful highlight, and I mean powerful story and insight she shared with us, right? So how she was dealt with emotionally, okay, in all dimensions. She had issues, right? So when you see someone who understand that they have a purpose, but they are not even living that life, and you keep saying to yourself, this person is so knowledgeable. Have you ever seen those people in your space? If you have seen them, say I've seen them. If you've been there, say I've been there. So much knowledge. You even look at the next person, you're like, I know more than this person. I can do better than this person. Yeah, good and fine. But why are you not doing it? What is stopping you? All right? Sometimes those baggages are holding you back because you've not been able to process them. Okay? It can be mental, it can be physical, right? It can be physical. So you have to become deliberate with yourself going forward. And that's why there's a course such as emotional intelligence, where you get to learn about self-awareness on a deeper level. There are five core aspects of emotional intelligence: self-awareness, right? We have self-regulations, we have motivations, then we have social intelligence, and one more. Who can tell me the last one? Who can tell me the last one? It's not coming to me right now. But those are the five, those are the four. There's another one in addition to that. All right? That can begin to help you navigate your emotions intelligently. All right? So, clearing the clutter, decluttering is a thing. Oh my God, I can't wait for us to just start off the book club in July. All right? You should try and get on board. We're going to be reading as many books as possible. Sometimes I just go on a reading diet. Yes, I want to feed my mind with positivity. I can just tell myself this month, minimum 10 to 15 books, and I go all in. I go all in. Yeah, I'm very busy, I know, but I go all in. Do you see that? And when I'm reading them, I'm jotting down, I'm writing out points. One thing I've always told you guys, one of the fastest way to heal, especially when you are going through challenges, trauma, is by reading a lot of books. Yes, beyond going for therapy, beyond if you don't have access to therapy, the cheapest way to start is books. I went for a program about 2 years ago on bibliotherapy. I became certified as a bibliotherapist, right? And I know the power of books to heal. The power of books to heal. So when you know how to read, there's so much you can process just by going through a book. It can just be processed. Before you see yourself, you just receive healing. So you must learn to declutter on every side. And the next one is unplug to recharge. You cannot pour from empty. We must be ready to design to operate at 100% output and not 0%. So rest is productive. Rest is important. The moment I learned how to rest, people see me that I do a lot, but I also rest so much. When I'm not live, I'm not doing anything that has to do with this, right? I sleep. I sometimes I have to read. Sometimes I have to even watch a movie. I just have fun as I'm going on this journey. Life is not that difficult. Life is not that hard. Do you see that? If you want to work, we work really hard. If you want to rest, we rest well as well. Do you see that? So you must begin to learn how to do that. In the focus framework, there is the aspect of unplugging to recharge. Unplugging to recharge. You cannot afford to be less than your capacity, less than the potential that God has placed on the side of you. Have you ever looked at yourself sometimes and be like, oh, I think I should be doing better than this. I think I should be doing more than this. I think I have more capacity than this. You have been there, right? I have more capacity than this. Why am I not achieving this? Why am I not getting this result? Why am I not becoming that person? All right, we have 6 more minutes to go. Why am I not becoming that person? If you have any question, you can type. Command is the S. Stay the course. Focus is not a one-time decision. It's a daily recommitment. It's a daily what? Recommitment. It takes an average of 66 days, not 21, to form a new habit. Now, let me explain this to you. Prior to this time, it used to be 21 days to form a new habit. Many of us know that. 3 weeks, we are good to go. But trust me, recent research has proven that it takes 66 days upward right now. Yes, for 21 days, maybe just for some kind of habits, there's not that difficult to build. Maybe drinking water. Drinking water is simple. Like you can have cans of water containers around in your room, your bedroom, your library, your kitchen, your dining. You have water everywhere. In your office, you have water everywhere. You start to drink water, right? That one can be easily integrated, right? Let's say you want to build a habit of which of the habits have you struggled to build that you think is so difficult? Let's see, let's compare. Can you type in the comments? Okay, one that I know is meditation. Mm. Meditation is a struggle for a lot of people. See, even though we preach it in church, we preach meditation in church, many of us still don't know how it works. All right. A few weeks ago, I was teaching on meditation in church. It was such a remarkable conversation, right? Many of us still don't know how meditation works. So that could be the kind of habit that will take upward of 66 days for it to start working. Because for water, for example, you can just keep water and then you drink water, you're good to go. Meditation requires willpower, requires sitting down, requires doing the work, requires some kind of mantras, recitations, and all of that. So it's going to take a bit of some time for you to be able to master it. Do you see that? So that can take like 66. Okay, reading as well. Reading. Reading is a habit that many of us still do not have, even though we want to read more, right? Even though we want to read more. So reading could be a habit that it will take you some time to build. Do you see that? So you must understand that staying the course is important. All right? You cannot begin to deliberately, okay? Deliberately put yourself in a position where you just give it your best shot. Give it your best shot. Give it your best shot. You are not falling. You are not just there yet. So progress is important. It may not always be visible, all right? But the woman who stays focused long term will always outlast the woman who try to sprint. Don't try to sprint. You have learned a lot from different speakers. If you have 4 speakers to go, you're going to be learning tomorrow as well. But trust me, we're not here to sprint. We're here to take one step at a time. All right? Taking one step at a time. I used to have a book called Take the Stairs. All right? Don't take the elevator. Leave the elevator alone. Take the stairs. Take the stairs. Someone can type it. Take the stairs. All right? Taking the stairs requires structure, requires a lot. So when you stay the course, that is focus. Okay? Focus. The first one, which is F, first letter will say filter. Get clear on what you actually want. And I recommended a couple of books. Okay? I recommended 66 days, man, expect 66, not 56. And I recommended a couple of books. I said, go read the book by Jay Paterson and Gary Keller, The One Thing. And then we spoke about owning your hours. There are a lot of books I could recommend there. We have a book like uh, Power Hour. It's a great book on time management. We have a book like um, there's this book on time management as well. I'm trying to remember the title. Okay, such a powerful book as well. If you're interested, I could recommend even after now. But it's also on time management. For those of you that are in the inner circle, these books are in the library. Okay, these books are in the library, so go check it out. You can get them there. Just type time and you search, and the books will come up to pop up. Okay. Yes, the title of the book is The Free Time Formula. The Free Time Formula by um, Jeff Sanders. Yes, Jeff Sanders. The Free Time Formula, such a powerful book. And then we've also spoken about decluttering. Declutter. There's such a powerful book that really has a lot to share with the subject of decluttering. The title of the book is The One Decision. The One Decision. Such a powerful book as well. Unplug to recharge. So also something you have to look into, which talks about rest. A lot of book you can also read on rest. And explaining the course has to do with faithfulness to the cause, doing the work again and again and again. Okay, doing the work again and again and again. Okay, so I like you to take 60 seconds today, right now. Be honest with yourself. You're going to ask yourself, what is one area of your life or work that needs your focus attention right now? What is that one area of your life? It could be your business, it could be your relationship, it could be any area of your life that needs your focused attention right now. What is the number one distraction you keep allowing that is stealing your most productive hours? That is stealing your most productive hours. And what will change in 90 days if you stay committed? Okay? What will change in 90 days if you stay committed? I like us to make these declarations as we wrap up. Before we make the declaration, I want to say something to us that is pretty important. We've spoken so much about the subject of focus, and I need you to know from all that we have shared so far, you can really realize that focus can never happen if you do not have an object of attention, if you do not have clarity about your life, about where you are headed, about the things that God has said concerning you, if you do not have clarity about them. And that's why I want to use this opportunity to invite you to our Purpose Project Mentorship. We just rounded off our very first cohort last week. Okay, so if you'd like to join the Purpose Project Mentorship, I'd like you to reach out to me. We'll also be sharing more details in the room. I'm just telling us so you can be aware, okay, of it. You cannot go to a 5 days event like this and then I leave you angry. No, it's not done. You must go to mentorship. You must go to mentorship, either in a group level, in a one-on-one level, right? How many of you understand what I'm saying? If you understand that, I understand. You must go to mentorship, either on a one-on-one level or in a group level. All right. So we are opening up the Purpose Project Mentorship Cohort 2. Yeah! Cohort 2 in the month of May, right? So we're starting it in the month of May. The time will be announced, but I'll share more details in the room tomorrow so that you can go read more about it. You can sign up and get yourself connected to training. Okay? Purpose Project Mentorship, we have different cadres of enrollments through which you can get in on that training. Such a remarkable experience that you would have if you truly go through it, right? For those that have gone through it, we had a couple of ladies that went through the last edition, and it was really, really remarkable. So I'll share more details with you tomorrow, so that you can get on board. Remember, we're having four speakers tomorrow. 12 p.m. Going to be having Coach Kenny from Canada. By 2 p.m. Going to be having we're going to be having a lady from Lagos, Ruth Steven. Then by 3 p.m. we're going to be having we're going to be having a lady, a woman, a stress coach from Germany. And then by 8 p.m. tomorrow, we're going to be having a very last speaker, my very good friend from Eswatini. Her name is Ishepo. So these are the four amazing speakers we have for you tomorrow. So get yourself ready. Tomorrow is going to be on fire. We say we always save the best for the last, right? Tomorrow is going to be on fire. So let's make this declaration. We've never had any declaration since we started. All right. I am a focused woman. I like to say to yourself, take a screenshot, everyone. Please share it in the group as well. I'm a focused woman. I know, I know what I'm called to, and I refuse to let noise drown out my purpose. I choose depth over busyness. I choose intention over reaction. I give myself full permission to say no to what doesn't belong in the season, right? My focus is my offering. My consistency is my testimony. I will not scatter. I will not shrink. I will not quit. I am building something that lasts. Amen. I am building something that lasts. The world is not looking for a busier version of you. It needs the most focused, most purposeful, and most fully accept version of you. And that woman already lives inside you. It already lives inside you. So I want you to know that focus is that door that you need to go through to become that exceptional person that you need to be. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying connected till now. I'm super excited. I will see you all tomorrow in class by 12 p.m. Have an amazing night rest. Take care.